We first see a vehicle stopped by a residence. The people might have just arrived home or preparing to go somewhere. Their plans were about to be altered by an unexpected encounter right in front of their home in broad daylight. Suddenly a vehicle arrived and men came out holding firearms. This was now a robbery right in front of their home. In South Africa, certain cars are highly sought after by these culprits, and the VW Polo is among the very top on that list. This particular car was a VW Golf 8. The lady watched in horror as her vehicle sped off the scene. Fortunately, she was left physically unharmed there. This incident happened on Dunvegan Road, Hillary, in the KwaZulu-Natal province of South Africa. We can see how she could hardly move and could not process what had just happened in just these few seconds. The culprits managed to escape the scene. On the next clip, we first see a group of men running towards an area. They suddenly stopped after noticing their intended target. The man was oblivious to the devious plan about to be executed here. The second culprit went straight for the neck here, as he made sure there was no escape for the victim. This is the danger in this areas, and people are always advised to be on the lookout for suspicious movement or potential culprits around. These culprits take every chance they get and are not shy away from executing these foul actions in broad daylight right in front of the public. This particular gang was said to be known to operate in this central business area in Polokwane. The man had no chance here as he was being attacked from all angles. This is a case where a vehicle had been targeted through signal jamming. The owner had parked the vehicle at this parking lot, but they had no idea the vehicle had been targeted by these culprits. The culprits waited for a while as they watched the unsuspecting victims inside the vehicle. We then see them walking away after locking the vehicle doors, but the culprits parked a few yards away from their vehicle inside a silver VW, had already tampered with the signal. This is why it's important to invest in additional security measures, mostly when owning these high-valued and sought-after vehicles. Always make sure your vehicle is locked. You should not just press your vehicle alarm and walk away. Test whether your vehicle doors are locked after you have activated the alarm. Also be vigilant when you park and watch out for suspicious individuals lingering around the parking area. Listen for the sound when you lock and activate your alarm. Watch whether your car lights flash to indicate it is locked. These tips can go a long way to counter and lessen these clowns' actions.
In South Africa, owning a GD6.
The culprits went on to enter the vehicle and drove away with the car.
So easy, man. They took it so easy.
This is another scene where a vehicle is targeted. We first see a vehicle driving onto a parking spot right in front of the store the lady was about to enter. She then exits the vehicle and went around, but she notices something off about her car. The remote locking system seemed to be malfunctioning there. This should have been a red flag for her right then and then, but most people might not suspect these things in most cases and just think it might be a malfunction. She had no idea what was about to happen in a few seconds right behind her back. The doors were clearly not locking, and the vehicle's signal had been intercepted remotely. It's important to educate people about these things, mostly in areas with high rates of hijacks and car thefts. She finally left the scene, but right next to her the culprit was watching her every move. Once she was out of the picture, the man went on to open the vehicle and drove off the scene.
This is sad, guys. Very, very sad.
This clown had no jamming tech, so he decided to use the primitive way of breaking in. He broke the window with a sling and went in to peel it off the structure. This particular culprit wanted what was inside the vehicle. An alarm system could have possibly helped the owner in this unfortunate situation. On to the next scene, where people can be seen walking around an area. They had no idea what was coming in a few moments. Culprits had targeted an individual around inside the white car parked near the building. The man inside the vehicle was secured by it, a businessman from Port Elizabeth in South Africa. This area is said to have been his office premises. In most cases, these culprits tend to monitor their targets for weeks before the initial kidnapping. They might also have insider information in other instances with details on how the victim moves in the schedule. They then kidnap these victims and demand ransom payments from the relatives. We then see a vehicle arriving at the scene before culprits exit and start shooting in the air. The man was dragged from the vehicle straight into the getaway car. This must have been terrifying for this business owner, as he had no clue what was about to happen. They eventually finished this kidnapping and left the scene. The culprits are said to have demanded R1 million for his release. 3 suspects were later arrested by the Hawks in South Africa. The man was freed after possibly paying out the ransom money. On the next clip, we first see a cash and transit truck approaching an area in South Africa. These trucks are always targeted in the nation due to obvious reasons. We then see the culprits inside their getaway vehicle. The armed guards can then be seen loading the bag of cash into the truck. At the same time, several men can be seen approaching the vehicle. These vehicles should have a safety zone with guards on alert. People should not be allowed to come within a few feet without any suspicions being raised. It's astonishing how easy this all looks. These security companies should definitely invest in better strategies and personnel to deal with these situations better. The culprits can be seen rushing towards their getaway. They loaded the cash and escaped the scene.
No, that was easy.
On the final video, the culprits targeted this old man right by his gate. The young lady on the other side had no idea what was happening there. The dogs could sense something was off as they saw faces they didn't recognize. The man was now being dragged out of the vehicle as they tried to hijack the car. The young lady then realized what was happening, and she tried to close the gate. The dogs definitely played their part there, but they were a bit confused by the commotion. Their first instincts might have been to protect the young girl, first as they followed her inside. Fortunately, the clowns gave up here as they could not handle this anymore.